we're talking about the average white bands pick up the pieces. This tune has a lot going on, so let's get right into it. It's going to be really important that you download the PDF chart for this tune that's linked in the details of this video below. I've written each of the two guitar parts on two separate staves. That should make it a little easier to discuss all of the stuff going on in this song. Harmonically in this song, there's not a whole lot to talk about, as we pretty much toggle between an F minor 7 and a B flat 9 sus chord. Each one of the held quarter notes that you see that's a long duration note is actually a C7 sharp 9. But the guitar player, I don't believe, is actually playing that. I think they stopped. And the two horn players are actually holding a C and an E flat, the root and the sharp 9 of that chord. The vast majority of our muting is going to be done with our left hand. And that even includes the lines that are part of the second guitar part, like the one that I opened with. So let's jump into some of these voicings and get a feel for what's going on here. So the first chord voicing that we're dealing with at the beginning of this tune, it takes up the first four measures in both guitar 1 and guitar 2, is a B flat 9 sus chord. For that voicing, we're actually going to use a barred first finger and our second and third finger. Barred first finger starts here at the 10th fret. I got a C here on 10th fret, 4th string. F with my first finger, 10th fret, 3rd string. Second finger has B flat here at the 11th fret of the 2nd string, and E flat here on the 1st string with my 3rd finger. Gives me this kind of sound. In several of the live performances of this tune, the guitar player is actually including a G here on the 10th fret of the 5th string, which gives us a little bit bigger sound in the chord. And then we have two different rhythms happening. Guitar 1, which is the top part of the PDF, is just giving us 16th notes. They're even, straight 16th notes on this chord. Guitar 2, found on the bottom staff of our two-staff chart here, is playing a slightly different rhythm, but using the same voicing. So you get this. Next up, we have the verse portion of this tune. Again, guitar 1 is on the top of the two-line staff, guitar 2 is on the bottom part of the two-line staff. But we have a repeated idea here in both guitar 1 and guitar 2 that carries through the repeats in this particular portion of the tune before we head to the first chorus. Guitar 1 is playing an F minor 7 voicing. But what we're actually using here is an upper structure triad of an F minor 7 voicing. So I'm actually playing an A flat triad here, starting on C, 3rd string, 5th fret, 2nd finger, and then I'm going to bar my 1st finger at the 4th fret, 2nd string, 1st string, and that gives me C, E flat, and A flat. To help yourself with muting this a little bit, it's okay to put your 3rd finger here on the 4th string. It's another A flat, so if you accidentally get that note, it's okay. It doesn't really change the voicing that much. It's going to sound a little darker than what you're hearing on the recording, where they're actually playing just the top 3 strings. But this is a pretty common funk way to make sure you're playing the upper 3 notes of a minor 7 chord by using just an upper structure triad like this. So let's take a look at the idea that guitar 1 is playing here, this rhythm that we play throughout the verses. It's really another combination of 16th notes and 16th note rests. But you get this idea. In guitar 2, we hear this repetitive line that's really an underlying portion of this tune. It's kind of in the background. It's on your, I guess, stereo right channel if you're looking at the speakers. The line has 3 16th note pickups that are a C, an E flat, and an E, leading to an F. But coming into the verse out of the intro of the tune, we're not able to play those because the guitar player in guitar 2 has a different rhythm. So he actually just starts right on the F, which is what you see there at the first repeat, line 2, bar 5, under verse. And that line is played here on the 5th string, 8th fret is where we're going to start it. F with my 3rd finger. I'm going to move to a G here on the 5th fret, 4th string. Slide that up to the A flat. Get a B flat here under my 3rd string. Back to this A flat, and then I got F here. So the line is going to start slowly here on F. And then we have our 3 pickup notes starting on C on the 6th string, 8th fret, C. Move to the 5th string, 6th fret for an E flat with my first finger. 2nd finger here on E natural, 7th fret, 5th string. And then we're to this F, 5th string, 8th fret. The rhythm of this line is fairly important. I haven't tabbed out the notes, but based on what you're seeing in this video, you could look at the rhythm, listen to the song, and figure it out. But faster, it's going to be something like this. 3, 4. As you move through the verse, you're going to see the F minor 7 turn to a B flat 9 sus, but I still have slashes there. That works because we can use an A flat triad with a B flat bass note to give us a B flat sus sound. So it's really something like this. So if the B flat sus is related to my F minor chord, I can continue to play this same idea in guitar 2 and achieve the same results by only changing the bass note. It's some pretty slick harmony that occurs in this tune. But for the verses, don't have to change anything about what you're doing to change from F minor 7 to B flat 9 sus. After you've played through the verse twice, we're going to move on to the chorus section. These have 2 different rhythms between guitar 1 and guitar 2. Guitar 1 is going to change 1 note in this F minor 7 voicing to get to a B flat 9 sus. Instead of playing the 7th of that chord here on top, I'm actually going to play the root here under my pinky. So now I have C under my 2nd finger here, 3rd string, 5th fret, E flat, 4th fret, 2nd string, B flat under my pinky here, 1st string, 6th fret. For that idea, we return to straight, even 16th notes. Guitar 2 is actually returning to that opening sus chord that we played at the beginning of the tune, where my 1st finger is barred here at the 10th fret, and my 2nd and 3rd fingers are on the 11th fret of the 1st and 2nd strings. You see a different rhythm that's being played here. Behind guitar 1, playing those even 16th notes on this chord, the guitar player on guitar 2 is following the rhythm of the hi-hat being played by the drummer with this. Both of these ideas close out in the chorus section with that C7 sharp 9 that's really being played by the horns. I think both guitar players bail on that particular chord, but if you want to, on beat 4, you can stick whichever chord you're playing. If you're playing the B flat 9 sus that's part of the guitar 1 part down here around the 5th fret, I would suggest moving to this C7 sharp 9 chord. If you're up here and you're playing guitar 2 part with the sus chord at the 10th fret, I would suggest moving to this C7 sharp 9 chord with my 2nd finger here on the 10th fret of C, 1st finger on E, 9th fret, 3rd string, and then barring my pinky finger at the 11th fret on the 2nd and 1st string. From there, we move on back to the verse section from that chorus, and you're going to repeat what you were playing in the verse at the beginning of the tune. Same idea. Then after that verse, we have the chorus show up again. Same idea, but this time we're getting ready to head into the solo section. So the C7 sharp 9 chord is going to last for 4 bars. This is completely being played by the horns. Really don't have to do anything there as a guitar player. If you want to play that chord, again, I suggest the same thing. Playing this C7 sharp 9 down here if you're playing guitar 1. If you're playing guitar 2, play this C7 sharp 9 up here. Just let it ring. Then we move into the solo section of this tune. It's a 16 measure sax solo that occurs over 12 bars of B flat 9 sus and 4 bars of F minor 7. Again, we have lines for guitar 1 and guitar 2. For guitar 1, we have a different rhythm than we've seen in guitar 1 before, but it's very similar to the rhythm that's being played by guitar 2 at the opening of the tune, just with a different voicing. We're using our B flat 9 sus voicing down here at the 5th fret with my C under my 2nd finger, 5th fret 3rd string, E flat here, 1st finger, 4th fret 2nd string, B flat, 6th fret 1st string under my pinky. So let's try and lock that in. 3, 4. Guitar 2 during the solos is again playing a 16th note line. It's essentially another 2-bar phrase, even though you're only playing 6 16th notes. The phrase starts on beat 4 of measure 1 and ends on beat 1 of measure 2. This idea is repeated every 2 bars, starting with B flat. So we have repeated 16th notes on B flat, here, 4th string, 8th fret, repeated 16th notes here on the 7th fret, 4th string, repeated 16th notes here on the 6th fret, 4th string. So you get this. 1, 2, 3. When we move to the F minor section of the solo, we're returning back to the idea that we're playing in the verse. And that carries through from the solo into this final verse. You'll notice in the PDF chart, once we get into the final verse, I actually dropped the 2nd guitar part, because everything in this final verse and chorus is the same as it's been previously in the verses and choruses of the tune. The last place that I want to pick up with both guitar parts is talking about the outro. Guitar 1 actually changes this F minor idea slightly and moves to a B flat 9 sus idea again. From this F minor triad, you're still playing the same idea, but now on beat 4, you're going to put your pinky down here on B flat, 6th fret, 1st string, and play that B flat 9 sus. So our outro goes something like this. After 8 bars of that outro idea, we come to the final 2 bars of the tune. This is primarily on the horns to end the song, but we're ending with our ideas in both guitar 1 and guitar 2. Guitar 1 is ending on 3, 4. Guitar 2 is ending on. So like I said in the opening of this video, there's a lot to unpack in this tune, and it's going to be essential that you download that PDF chart and work along with that, along with the recording, to be able to put this together. This is a classic funk tune with a classic guitar part, and it's a lot of fun to play with each part. It's not imperative that you know how to read music in order to be able to read this chart. Along with the video, you should be able to do everything you need to do to learn this song. But it is important to understand that I have written guitar 1 on the 1st line of the staff and guitar 2 on the 2nd line of the staff. The only places where guitar 2 disappears in that bottom staff is when we're repeating ideas that you've seen earlier in the tune, and I didn't need to write them out again. You'll also notice a lot of the times I've written SIM period or similar. That means that idea is repeated through the slashes that you see in each section, and you're just going to continue to play the same thing. So I hope this video has been helpful. This has been a lot of fun to put together. I really enjoyed playing this song, and it's really one of my all-time favorites. So that's it for this week. Hope to see you again soon. Thanks for checking this out.